There you go. We are recording.
Wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. Today is November 15th, the middle of the month, and it's such an exciting time here in LifeVantage, isn't it? And this evening, since it is our focus to talk about skincare this month, we're going to be talking about true science. And it's my greatest honor to be sharing this time with Dr. Sveta Silverman. She is from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and most of you may know her. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Isa Dinerman. I am a Pro 5 in LifeVantage, happily doing this work, this legacy work, as I like to call it, for the last 3 years, and never had greater joy here. But I am an esthetician. And I come from a background where I owned skincare shops, a couple of locations here in Arizona, and I loved what I did. I loved it. And when this was introduced to me, when NRF2 activated skincare was introduced to me, honestly, I have to say that I had never heard of it. And I therefore kind of just felt that I was providing my clients with, the best organic skincare lines that were out there. I've always been very conscious of ingredients, just trying to keep things as natural as possible, free of preservatives, no animal testing, all of that. And then as I started to look into this, into true science, and I saw that all of the boxes check and more, I was blown away. And so here I am today. I've sold my skincare shops now a few years back, and just happily educating people through LifeVantage on why our largest organ needs this to be addressed on this level with NRF2. And I'd like to just say before I hand this over to her, can we all just agree, right? That our skin is not like a piece of glass. It's not something that we just lay something on and you expect it to just totally transform how you look, right? But it's our largest organ. It's several layers deep. Sveta is going to tell you more about that, but it is so much more, not complicated, but it needs specific care, right? And that's what NRF2 does for us. So I'm going to hand this over to Dr. Sveta Silverman, and she's in Edmonton, Alberta, like we said. She's a cancer pathologist. She's a dear friend of mine, and I'm so happy to be doing this again with her. We've done a couple of skincare seminars. So, Sveta, I'll hand it over to you, and then we'll talk about how we can sell this, how we can talk to clients.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Isa. And again, thank you, Maria Williams, and thank you, Isa, for allowing me to be a co-presenter. It's always a joy. This is basically what it's all about with LifeVantage. It's that partnership, it's that camaraderie, it's a family. So it's not that only you're presenting with someone who is actually not even per se on my team, it's a part of our team. But that's what LifeVantage brought. It brought that relationship, that friendship. So thank you, Isa. Yes, we're talking about the skin. The interesting thing is we actually always think, it's interesting, we're always in the learning thing. We always think, and I thought that the skin is the largest organ in the body. It's just about the largest organ in the body. I've discovered that the largest organ in the body is our vessels. When you stretch all the vessels, that is going to be, however, we are going to basically attach the vessels to the skin and bring the importance of an NRF2 activation in the skin. So guys, not only, well, it may not be the largest organ in the body, but skin is our gateway, is the gateway to goodness. And it's our, it's kind of our gates to the garbage disposal. So if we do not keep the skin healthy, guess what's happening? The toxins are not coming out of the skin, or the goodness is not coming into the body. If we don't have a good skin, there is not going to be a benefit of the sun and the production of vitamin D. So, in this slide, we're basically showing you that skin is, it's a multitude of layers. And we need to think of it in this way. So our protection is our surface. Going back to this is, let's say in medical words, is epidermis. Then there is something in between, which is called dermis. What is dermis? Dermis is our elasticity, is our youth, it's our vibrancy. And then there's a third layer, which is subcutaneous fat layer. This is the one that per se carries the major blood supply. The interesting fact about the skin is the importance of cellular stress, of free radical damage, and the way we clean that free radical damage. So let me make somewhat an analogy or even a joke. When we look at a person, you can define the age of this person, maybe not by the look of the face skin, because, you know, there are lots of procedures that can be done on the skin and you can camouflage a lot. Look at their hands. The hands don't lie. You can define the age of the person via the skin of their hands. So what's happening? Our blood supply, the largest organ of the body, is the circulation, the blood supply, the rivers of blood. But the body is very selective. Where does the main blood supply go? It doesn't go to the skin. It goes to this organ. It goes to the heart. It goes to the liver. It goes to the major organs that need, like, you know, the function, the critical functioning of the body. Skin is the last on the list. So when skin is the last on the list, so these things, when the blood gets to the surface, it's like it's hard. But the thing is, which is the barrier, which is the frontier of our body? It's our skin. The skin is the frontier. So where are we facing with the highest free radical attack? We're probably going to face it in the skin. This is our toxins, all this environmental stuff that comes into our body. So where do you think we need the most cleaning apparatus, the most efficient apparatus, or one of the most? You need it on the surface of the skin. That's what you see in the slide. The highest ROS, the highest free radical, we need the most of NRF2. Well, guess what? The older we get, the less blood supply we get to the surface. We get the less blood supply, we get the less nutrients to the surface. How can the cell produce NRF2? How can the cell mount that intracellular defense? It is very, very hard. So even when we bring our amazing flagship product, NRF2 Protandim, and I hope the guests on this webinar, they have been introduced by people who invited them to, you know, our some sort of, you know, little video clips or ABC investigative report. If you haven't seen, guys, I encourage you to go and look at some video introduction to the concept of NRF2 Protandim and the health concept. So the thing is, when you consume that NRF2 activator, it's the same thing. It goes through the bloodstream. It goes through the bloodstream. It's very hard to bring it to the skin. So what happens is, so that's basically what I was talking about. You don't clean the cells, they're going to age, they're going to shrivel, and they're not going to function. So now what happens is, why NRF2 activation? What is NRF2? NRF2 is a switch to our cellular vacuum cleaners. So do you need your vacuum cleaners in the skin? Absolutely. Otherwise, it's going to be shriveled. Otherwise, it's going to be wrinkled. But let alone forget about wrinkled and shriveled. What is it not going to do? Is it not going to absorb the goodness, and it's not going to excrete the badness? So that's why that NRF2, we need to turn on the switch. How? How can we bring that NRF2 activator Protandim to the skin? So we have an amazing skin formulation. So we are actually applying the Protandim for the skin. How did we get to this? We got to this through the science. It started with 3 studies. I encourage you to go on pubmed.gov, PUBGOV, PUBMED.gov, National Institute of Health database, and just look up skin studies which were done on an NRF2 Protandim. That's how the concept came about. Why don't we create the skincare regimen? So, skincare regimen was created, and it's a 4 parts. It's a 4 parts. It is an NRF2 anti-aging cream. It's an NRF2 eye corrector serum. It's an NRF2 perfecting lotion, and it's NRF2 gentle cleanser. And it comes in this, basically in this pattern. First you cleanse, and you still nourish the cells, even cleansing, because you're activating this cellular cleaning apparatus. And then what's a perfecting lotion? So then you're starting to nourish it from different perspective. So a perfecting lotion, it's not only like a moisturizing, but it's an NRF2 activating lotion. And my beautiful friend, an elite distributor, Marisa Harrelson, who brought me to LifeVantage, she calls it velvet water. So, and then basically there is another product, which is a 3rd part, eye corrector serum, which is concentration of proteins and nourishment, still an NRF2 activator for deeper parts of the skin, for the wrinkles and crevices, for something that the ladies do not like. I think men like it because they think that they feel like a machos and wise. We don't like it because we want to look young. And then the pièce de résistance is our NRF2 activator for it is called anti-aging cream. We used to call it face cream. Oh, no. It goes on a lot of parts of my body. Now, I told you, so this is kind of a summary. NRF2 technologies mitigates visible effects of skin damage by free radicals or oxidative stress. Steps up skin's protective barriers. That's exactly what we were discussing. It protects from environmental assaults. Again, I told you that the skin is the barrier. It's a gatekeeper. Counterbalances the visible negative effects of sun-related damage. Now, this is an outdated slide. It says patent pending. Oh, it's not pending anymore. The patent is there. In fact, there are 11 patents in LifeVantage. Now, this is what stands for LifeVantage and is so important for all of us. I will encourage you to be very responsible for what you put inside your body and on the outside of your body. So look up, please, if you haven't downloaded before, download the app, which is called Think Dirty. And when you look at Think Dirty, you can compare a whole bunch of different skincare products, skincare regimens, shampoo regimens, and see how clean or how dirty they are on a scale from 0 to 10. What LifeVantage is, we're from 0 to 2. And with 2, we could have been probably zeros, but we're 2 because we applied the fragrance. So now look at this: sulfate-free, paraben-free, formaldehyde-free, gluten-free, no GMO, no petroleum or mineral oil, no artificial colorants. Well, I will doubt that it's about 30 days supply, not for me. I'm very frugal. Russians are frugal. So it lasts me longer than 30 days. Now, when I told you that skincare, NRF2 protection skincare started with previously three studies that were done in Louisiana or from Louisiana State University. However, 4 studies were done in LifeVantage. I'm not going to bore you with this. You can please get back with the person who invited you, or you can reach out to one of us and we will get you to the studies. What I want to show you is this. When we told you that it actually works and it improves your visual effect, it does, because it is scientifically proven. The study was done in 28 days. Your skin moisture went up by 32%. But this is exactly what I was telling you about intermediate layer, the collagen. You need to moisturize the collagen, otherwise the skin goes wrinkly like this, it collapses. You need to hydrate it. In 56 days, 42%. Plus, it's not only about dermis, it's about this. I live in Alberta. We do not have humidity. We have dryness. So especially right now, there are 10 fingers and 20 cracks. So I need that moisture component in my NRF2 skincare regimen. Now, as a pathologist, I like to look in the microscope. Well, I look in the microscope, but I like to compare things. So the study that was done by Dr. Shabro from LifeVantage, there was a comparison of our NRF2 facial cream and retinol or skin regimen with a vitamin A. And look at this. So this is ours, and this is the competitor. So this is normal. This is after 7 days of application. Look, every cell is identical, and there is no too much of the keratin. There is just the right amount of that protective layer of keratin. Now look at this, how uneven the skin, the superficial layer of the skin, and how different the cells are. I'm not going to get into details, but even you with your eyes, you can see that the cells are different. They're not picket line like this, it's a different. So this is abnormal, and quite a few of the cells are bloated. And sometimes it's create an artificial volume of the skin. So this is probably what I wanted to share with you. So guys, so here's the deal about LifeVantage and about our products. Before I turn it back to Isa, it's not just about skin application. Absolutely. I honestly believe that it has to be our products in and our products out, because it totally makes sense. If you're going to clean and nourish and rejuvenate your cells from the inside, absolutely apply and add the same principle from the outside. And today we're not talking about the skin appendages, we're not talking about the hair, but the same story. Apply the NRF2 activation for your hair and see how great is it going to be. So without further ado, let me turn it back to a very, very good and very close friend of mine. When I need to cry, I cry on her shoulders. Not too many people know that, but I do. And she's amazing. That very, very tiny woman carries a lot of power and leadership on her shoulders and helps so many people. And absolutely, she's one of the leaders in LifeVantage. And who knows skin better than Isa? So please, and thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of it.
Thank you so much, Sveta. Wow, you just touched my heart. Can you stop the screen share, Sveta?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So isn't that amazing, everyone? I hope that you heard something new tonight here. And now let's get to what applies most here. Does it stress you out to bring up skincare? Do you find yourself thinking, how do I translate this, from people from, the Vitality Stack or the Tri-Synergizer and bring up that conversation? And I can tell you that many people feel that way. But we're going to talk about some ways to just de-stress about it, right? Everyone uses skincare, men, women, young children. We're all using this. I love that our packaging too is very simple. It's not overly feminine. There's not a lot of, it's very gender neutral, right? So if this stresses you out to bring up skincare, here's a couple of simple questions. We're going to keep it really simple, guys. So just asking people, what are you using? What are you currently using with your skin? And when they tell you what they're using, you might want to ask them, well, what do you like about it? What do you like best about it? And I can tell you that many people will tell you what they don't like first. They'll say, well, you know, I started something and it worked for a while and now I'm not loving this or that. But ask them what they like best about it first. What are their concerns? What are they trying to address? I can tell you that many people that I know in my age group, our eyes, you know, the eyes start to really show our age, right? And they can be, you know, we can be seeing that in under eye puffiness. We can see it in crow's feet or wrinkling around the eyes. And perhaps mentioning to someone, here's a simple routine. Can I share with you what I do for my eye tissue? I cleanse with a gentle cleanser. I use a serum and I hydrate that tissue. And then I stay hydrated. I drink lots of water. I decrease my salt intake and I work on my sleep regimen, right? So you're giving them more tips on, you're not talking about a product. You're telling them what you do and telling them, you know, how we incorporate other health measures in there, right? So, and asking people too, what is their lifestyle? Because if someone tells you, I wash my face in the shower, and I learned this when I have my skincare shops, I like to wash my face in the shower. I don't want to spend any more than 5 minutes in the morning getting ready, right? You want to just, you know, that's the beauty of our system. It's great for people who are in a hurry and who don't want to do a bunch of steps, right? And by the same token, if someone's telling you, you know, they're washing with Dove soap in the shower, no offense, right? But that is a great opportunity to tell them a little bit about what you learned with what Sveta just explained of how we need this protective barrier on our skin. And we want to make sure that we're hydrating it with good nutrients. And then, of course, closing the sale, you know, asking people after you share a little bit with them, are you ready to get started today? You know, are you happy to start implementing these products right now? And we'll have them to you in a week. So just, you know, being excited, everyone, you know, obviously being a product of the product, because if we are not showing, you know, that we are taking care of our skin and taking those extra measures, people aren't going to ask you so much, right? So I'd like to end with just sharing with you a client of mine that came in on one of the specials, you know, that we did a couple of months back. And she's a real estate agent in town. She loves it. And one of her other real estate agents about a week and a half ago asked me, you know, she called me and she said, Isa, Abby's skin looks amazing. I don't know what she's doing, but she told me to call you. So I explained to her the system. And after I'm telling her about the 4-step system, she said, okay, how much is this? Because it sounds amazing. And when I told her the price of a 4-step system, this is so affordable, everyone, right? What we have is very affordable. So please don't be afraid of bringing this up with customers, with prospects, because you think it's expensive. It's very affordable compared to what many people spend. So she came in on this, on our product, on the system. And just this week, I got a text from her and I want to share it with you. It says, hey, Isa, I'm loving each item in the facial care line. I've been dealing with dryness, parentheses, 45-year-old hormone issues, LOL. And it seems to be evening my skin tone and moisture balance without being overly greasy. Thank you so much. I'm a happy customer. So what I did after that, guys, I left her a voice message. Karen, I'm so happy. Thank you for sharing with me. And then I told her about our customer referral program. You know, when you share this unique link that you have, you can share this with other people and have them experience the same results. And it's a win-win, right? So with that, everyone, we hope that we provided some value to you tonight. It's always an honor to you know, to be asked to share tips of what's working for us. And, you know, please do, you know, utilize the programs that are in place, the customer referral program. And definitely the app is helping so much. There's so many great social media tools on there on the skincare for the monthly marketing playbook for this month. So utilize these things in your stories or even just texting them to people and just generating beautiful conversations about lifestyle, because it always leads back around, you know, to relationship and getting to know people. So Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you, Sveta, for sharing this half hour with me.
Thank
This
you
was
so
great.
much.
And thank you, everyone. We all hope you have a beautiful evening and a beautiful rest of the month.
And
So-
just before we end, there is one thing, guys. Let me just ask you, how many times a day you wash your hands now? How many times a day you put sanitizer? And as far as I've heard and tried, sanitizer are not moisturizing. They're drying your hands so dramatically. So that is why a clean skincare products are absolutely critical right now. So thank you, Isa. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.